Alright, welcome back, beautiful Brigandine fans, to your equipment guide here on Veracity Trigger. So today, we are going to be covering monster heavy armor. So let's get into it here, and let's talk about this sort of thing here. Alright, so if you're new to the channel, definitely either smash the like or subscribe for more. That'd be very helpful and would help the channel grow and help bring out more Brigandine content to everybody else in the world. So let's get into it here. We're going to cover the heavy armor. We're going to cover all of the heavy armor. Or if you haven't seen before, check out the equipment guides and the help guides for Legend of Runersia. I've covered almost everything as far as equipment is concerned. And we will finish this all. And I've also covered all of the bestiary too. The bestiary is complete. So the bestiary is complete. Whew, that took a while. But this won't take so long, so this video will be a little bit shorter today. We're going to cover all the heavy armor that you see. And so the heavy armor looks like this little symbol right here, as you can see in the inventory here. I have a new mouse, so my drawing skills, my sensitivity of my mouse is quite high. I wish I could tune it down. But we have, with the tough armor, we have 10 HP and 3 evasion. So the first piece of gear that you can put on a heavy monster is quite good. Alright, so let's look at the heavy armor there. And if you want to look to the right, you can actually see the stats change on the right. If you're new to the game too, CP value determines your combat power right here. So that will help you determine whether, according to the game, if you have a little better monster or whatever. Also will determine whether the AI attacks you as well. If they see a very weak troop, they'll probably go and attack that army. But heavy armor will bring up your defense versus the tough armor, and HP seems to stay about the same. So let's look at the next one up. Scale armor just gives us defense, so it's still better than tough armor because defense typically defense is typically better than HP for the most part, but if you get like a huge amount of HP over like one defense, then HP could be better. But evasion +4 as well, so it helps you evade things. The steel armor here is going to give you 8 defense, which arguably might be the best thing overall, so I'm going to go ahead and equip that on there, just let you know kind of what I like. Alright, and you know, we can look at the wait, did we look at this? The fine armor? I think we looked at yeah, we looked at the scale, we looked at that. Yeah, steel armor I would probably pick for the most part overall. Alright, so there's 3 different tiers of armor as well. There's white, purple, and gold. And the tiers determine the rarity at which you find it and also its particular level. Okay, so let's look at dark armor here. Now, dark armor is a purple dot defense, so to help you defend against dark and evil attacks and that sort of thing. And it also gives you 7 extra defense, so it's actually quite good. It's actually quite good. Now this one gives you 8, so this is like 1 more, but you know, some extra dark orb defense is good too. Now the sacred armor is going to kind of do the same thing the dark armor did, except for instead of a purple dot defense for evil defense, you're going to have a white dot defense for holy defense. So we can put that on there, and let's say Rudo wants to come and attack me, it might not hurt as bad as before. Okay. Alright, thunder armor, pretty much same stuff. Green orb defense instead. Ice armor, blue orb defense instead. Crimson armor, blue orb defense instead. Defense stays the same. Purple gear is mostly the same, except for when we get up to mithril armor. Now we're losing all of the colored orb dots for defense, and we're taking a jump in defense from 7 to 15, so you're adding 8 extra defense to your monster here. You can make a super tanky monster with this mithril armor. I would suggest that you equip this to something you want to save, because it won't give you an orb defense for one thing or another, but it'll just jack up your defense to the point that you're going to be able to handle the attack so much better than before. Okay, now let's get into some really interesting pieces of armor here. The gold tier. Ice Emperor armor. Ice Emperor armor, blue orb defense, obviously, HP of 20. So we got 20 extra HP right there, 15 defense, freaking awesome, and 7 attack. This Ice Orb Emperor armor, why did I say Ice Orb armor? It's Ice Emperor armor, is one of my favorite pieces of gear. I give this usually to my dragons so that the snakes can't hurt them as badly as before, because snakes, blue damage attacks hurt, you know, the red and all that in this game. So this is actually a pretty good piece of armor for dragons overall. All right, Tempest armor. What does Tempest armor do? Tempest armor will actually give you 1 extra mobility. So if you want that dragon to move 1 extra space further, Tempest armor will do that, but it gives you green orb defense. So to your own kind, if you're a dragon, you might be a little bit weaker. But then again, you are getting extra defense and HP, so that might offset a little bit. There is a little tiny bonus of 2% evasion, although for the most part, big guys don't evade very much. So I guess don't look forward to that too much, but it is something there, and it might help you. You never know. All right, Flame Emperor armor. Now this is the one that's going to get you not as great a defense, but it'll keep you in the red dots, especially if you're like a flame dragon or something like that. HP right there. We've got attack. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's also that's also a good piece of armor. I usually put these on my mandrakes, believe it or not, so that if something's attacking my mandrake with red orbs and stuff, I've got some red orb defense to fight off to fight off the dragons and all that. Adamantine armor might arguably be the best piece of armor in the game for your tanky units. 40 HP, 10 defense, accuracy plus 10, and guess what it also does? Gives you a self-healing, gives you self-regain, recover of A, which I think is 10% of your max HP you get back every turn. I don't know. I'd have to say this might be one of the best pieces of gear, although if you want the mobility, you might want the Tempest armor. But Adamantine is one of the best. Let's put that on there. And that pretty much covers all of the armor for this game. So it really comes down to, like, what do you want? Do you want to move 1 extra space? To move a little bit further? Do you want to have some blue defense? Like, what do you want for your monsters, really? And it really comes down to that. So if I've got like an ancient dragon or something like that, for the most part, I'll probably put on the Emperor armor. But if I have an Adamantine armor, I'll put that thing on instead, because I don't have to really worry about defense and all that when I've got so much HP, defense, and hit point recovery. It's just so much better. But if you're really slagging around and you're bringing a bunch of dragons in the field, you might want some Tempest armor just so you can actually get there as fast as the regular crew, because moving 4 spaces a turn, not always that much fun. Okay, so that'll pretty much finish the video here. Thanks everybody for coming by. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like or subscribe for more. That'd be very helpful. If you want to see what the differences are with equipping all this armor, on your monster, and what I'd have to say is you want to look for an all-star bonus. An all-star bonus would mean that you have your weapon, you have your armor, you have your headpiece, and you have your ring. Color for all of these pieces of gear all match the same color. So all white, all purple, or all gold. And you're going to see an all-star bonus. Going to help you quite tremendously there, and you'll get to see what that does. But I'm going to close this video out to make this kind of a short one here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming by, and take care.